met celebrities before. You guys are all the same. We all poop and pee. But I'm telling you right now, I'm here to get a job. That's my objective. My objective is to get a job. My objective is not to have a free summer. It's not about where I work or who I work for. If I get enough offers, I'll just pick which one pays the most.
Amen.
Exactly. Like, it's funny. I was walking with Brad. We were walking the career fair today. And I was walking with him in the career fair. And there's this big old stadium with hundreds of people walking around there trying to get a job. And we're all walking there. And I'm with Brad. And Brad looks at me. And Brad says, the funny thing is, everyone wants to get a job. But once you get a job, nobody wants a job. And that's what I said. I said, you're right, Brad. So I'm just going to make sure I get a good job. And that good job looks like the job that makes me look really, really good and make just enough money to be like, okay, I can buy me some draws. Shoot.
Yeah, well.
We're not here for any other reason. We're not here for any other reason. We're here to get a job. And all these guys are picky. They're picky. And I was picky too. But, once I got on the line, it started getting fun because I started thinking to myself, like, dang, once I get a job, I'm good. Like, I don't need anything else. I don't need anything else for it. Like, I want to work in film and television and media. I got like 100 years to live. Like, literally when I told them, the wealth management lady, she said, the most valuable thing is time. And I said, you know what, ma'am? And I'm so young that I'm so rich. 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 What's your card? You got a card? Is this your name? Nice to meet you. You have a great day, okay? Make good decisions. Get some sleep.
Well.
Stay out of trouble. And when the next guy comes over and asks you about your favorite questions, just think about he's just trying to get a job.
Well,
that's what I told him.
Seemed like that's what all that was trying to do.
I'm like sitting myself, and I'm in this long line with 70 people in front of me. And I'm thinking to myself, what differentiates me from everyone else? And it becomes so apparent. What differentiates me from everybody else is that the fact that I know I'm in a line with 70 people. And I'm not thinking about the person who's in front of me or the person who's behind me or the person in the room where I'm going. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm aware I'm a part of a collective. I'm part of 70 people who all have the same major, being taught by the same professor, being taught the same stuff, who are all trying to get the same job, who are all going to apply the same time. And here's what differentiates me, is when I walk in there and I say, to be honest with you, I'm not here for all these other questions. And, I think in companies, they ask me what my company does. They say, so what does my company do? And I started reading their pamphlet right in front of them. I said, your company does... They looked at me, and I looked them in the eyes and said, your company does this, but I know what you really need. You need a person with a job, right? A job. I want a job. I was like, yeah, I know what you really need. You need people who can talk to people. That's what you need. You don't need anything else. You guys got to make a profit, don't you? You don't need all this stuff. You don't need me to analyze assets and break down budgets. You could call the other guy for that. But I'm here to tell you right now, I'm here for clients. I'm here to talk with people and beat with people. And I promise you, I love to talk to people. I love talking to you. That's all I tell them. I said, I'm going to work in client side. My name is Titus Rhodes. I'm a finance major here at the University of Oklahoma. I transferred from OCCC as a digital cinema production person. And I'm just here to get a job. It's as simple as that. And I'm going to walk into my interview tomorrow with JCPenney, the highest leadership organization, because they called me for an interview. And I'm going to say the same thing to the lady. I'm here to get a role. I'm a client-side person. The role you want me to do is you want me to work with people. You want me to make your organization look good. I'm going to make your organization look the best. They just took a picture of us smiling. Did you catch it? He's right there. I just met him. His name is Matthew. I'll get a picture for you. What's your email? So I can email you my resume and the photo.
Well, you own it. You own it. You own it.
I sure am. I mean, there's 1,000 people in the line, all standing, stack. And we're all in suits. And we all got shiny shoes. And I'm thinking to myself, everyone here is talking about, I want an internship. I'm like, I want a job. I straight up told the lady. The lady said, you know what's funny? She said to me, I looked at this lady. She was over there. Her name was nice. Her name is Amber. She works at Bank of Oklahoma. I'm like, how you doing, Amber? She's the senior vice president of HR. I just connected with her on LinkedIn. I said, how you doing, Amber? She says, I'm doing good. She says, what do you want, Titus? Because she sees my name tag. And she sees my name tag and she sees me. And I'm like, oh, Amber, I just want a job. And she's like, I don't have a job, Titus. I have an internship. I said, yeah, I want to be an intern so I can get a job. Like, just, I'm thinking about like, Dad, they make it so complicated. No, I don't want to intern. I want a job, Amber. I want a job. Yeah, enter. Saying, get a job, enter. I said, you just want me to work with people, don't you? You want me to take the safe off your back? Come on now. You want to keep your clients in order? You want to keep your new clients to feel comfortable? I can do that for you. I'm making you comfortable, aren't I? I'm doing a great job. But see,
What'd she say?
well, I didn't say I made her. I was talking about outside. Well, I talked to her and I said, I want a job. And she gave me her card. And I said, I will apply today. And then she said, this role will work perfect for you. And I said, okay, I'll apply today. And I connected with her on LinkedIn and said, and you know what I used on LinkedIn? I sent a message. I said, hey, it's me, the guy who wants a job. Thank you for the opportunity. If you ever need anything or see another job opportunity in the future, or internship, if you want someone who's high proficient in talking with people and working with clients of different structures from family to commercial, you can hit up me. Best, Titus Rose. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I might never hear back again. But that's the game. The game isn't find one place. The game is to keep on shooting. If I keep on shooting, I can't fail. Because I told the guy, I said, I might walk out this place and I might never hear back from these people again. And you know what I told him? I said, I'm just going to try back tomorrow. Because guess what? I ain't going to have no free summer. He'll call me on the phone and say, what you doing, Titus?
Especially without a job, without money. I heard
Exactly.
you. I got you, bro.
I'm here to get a job.
That's awesome.
Look at me.
That's my point. That's my point.
You're doing a good job. Keep working.
That's how
Because
I
you got the right attitude. Don't be intimidated by people. And then let them see your personality. And then on top of that, realize that it's a numbers game. It's really just a numbers game. And all you're turning over rocks. That's the way.
And I'm giving people free game in the line. I'm giving them free game in the line. And I'm getting in lines. I'm looking at this guy. He's with me. I'm standing in line like, hey, how you doing, man? He's like, I'm like, hey, man, how you doing, man? He's like, I'm doing good. I said, hey, I was just interested in knowing this. What are you here for? I'm here for JP Morgan. Oh, I'm here for JP Morgan, too. What do you know about the company? I said, hey, man, here's a fun fact. She's married to the Goldman Sachs guy. Bring up their marriage, and you might get a job, man. He looked at me and says, hey, man, thanks for the free game. I'm going to use that. Fist bump. He ends up saying, oh, wait, never mind. I'm going to go to the other person right there. Hey, if I get him, you can get her, okay? Go. Ready? Break. We go and get a job. I said they need, and I keep saying it, Dad, they need 2 interns, one to fire and one to replace. They don't need they're stacking our names up in an Excel sheet right now. They're checking off. Like literally told me, she's like, to be so real with you, I just want you to go in and just record your video because I love the way you're talking right now. Titus, please don't go. And Lindsay, she's from Arvis Bank. And I'm like, okay, I won't. I was like, Lindsay, she's like, look, because here's the truth, okay? I'm not telling everybody this, but in 3 weeks, I got to send a big report to my boss to let them know about the interns. Just send your application, do the video, and then if I see your face, I'll remember you. And I'm like, okay, great. I'll see you in 3 weeks, Lindsay. Because here's the thing. Lindsay has a job. JP Morgan got a job. Goldman Sachs got a job. 49 Financial got a job. Wealth Advisors over here got a job. American Bank got a job. Fidelity got a job. All these people got a job. I told the guy, I looked at him, I told the guy I was sitting right by, I said, man, here's the crazy thing. Everybody here thinks that nobody wants to do this right now. He says, what? I said, nobody wants to do this. Nobody wants to go talk to college students who are begging with boring questions for 8 hours a day on a Wednesday. Nobody wants to do this. He said, what they did when they were in the office? They were like, all right, Lindsay, you're going to go off to OU and talk to college students. You know what Lindsay did? She said, ugh, and she kicked her feet. Just make sure that Lindsay has a good time when Lindsay gets here. Because here's the thing. Nobody wants to do this. You think the Goldman Sachs guy wants to come to OU and talk to you guys who don't know anything, and you're going to act like you know everything?
Yeah.
And then you're going to apply and walk away like you don't want to get it. Like you're not getting their LinkedIn, you're not getting their email, you're not getting their card, you don't even remember their name. You're just saying, I sent my resume in. And I already told him. I told you when I walked up to the lady. I said, how many yellows you got versus whites? I looked at her. I said, how many resumes you got? Because when they give you those business professional resumes, they give you a yellow resume because they say it stands out. Versus there's other guys who are at home printing with normal copy paper. So I'll just say, this woman's writing all over my resume saying, you're gonna be great for this role. And I said, I'm just gonna apply. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna just do what I gotta do because I'm gonna apply, and I'm gonna say I talked to Katie, I talked to Brooke, because in the end of the day, we're all here for the same reason. That's why I told Yasmin. She was going to go to the marketing night, and what Yasmin did? She got so stressed out. What?
No, your mom is exercising.
Yasmin got so stressed out last night because she was in the marketing night, and she was sitting there. It was a marketing night, so all the marketing students were in their suits like we were for the finance students. And she got so stressed out in line, saying, I got so stressed out I didn't want to go inside. So she left the line and went to the mall.
Yeah.
And I told Yasmin, I said, Yasmin, turn around and get a job. It's not more complicated than that. When they don't care about, like, you know what I mean? Like if we're talking about finance here, I mean, we're talking about assets and liabilities. And if we're talking about assets, liability, you're that potential asset that they can get to bring into the company. But you got to understand that their time being wasted right now is a liability. So the way you raise that is you got to make your demand higher than the supply they get. You got to make them demand the want you. And by demanding them to want you, you got to make sure that in the first 20 seconds, you make them laugh. In the first 20 seconds, you say something to them that's going to sound so off-putting that they're like, no other intern has said that to me all day. Just so maybe, because 5 other interns made them laugh in the first 30 seconds, because 5 other interns gets the game, you're part of that 5. But if you want to be the other 70, talking about, I looked at your organization online and...
Don't nobody want that.
You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. People say research the organization because it makes you stand out. I'm thinking to myself, how many people are researching the organization to make you stand out? So here's what I do. I don't research. I do the research while I'm in the line. I'll ask somebody in the line and say, hey, what's this company about? And they'll be like, they're in taxes. I'm like, okay, you're working in taxes. I'm like, okay, you're working with taxes. You're working with families, aren't you? I said, okay. You got a family? You wouldn't trust me with your money, right? I looked at her and said, you wouldn't trust me with your money. But hey, you would trust me to take your coffee every day and make sure to watch your meetings, right? Prep your meetings up for you. You trust me with that, would you? Would you trust me with that? I promise you I can do that job. See, because here's the thing, when you talk about financial advisement, you're not gonna, every kid in here is, I don't care how many certificates or certifications they get, they're not handling daddy's pocketbook. That's what I told them. I said, they're not doing that. I said, here's what every kid is doing. Here's what you want to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that when I'm coming into the office, I'm going to make sure the clients are having a great time so they can talk to you. Because you know what you're talking about. Okay? And I'm going to watch your meetings and just have a good time then. But, all that other stuff doesn't matter. If you don't have certifications, it doesn't matter, right? Because it doesn't matter how many kids talk about it. Because how many interns have come, I asked them the question, I said, how many interns have come up to you and already asked you about, I said a random thing. I said, already asked you about, what does your organization do? What kind of families do they work with? Who cares? No, it doesn't. I'm not going to treat a family differently if I talk to the family, right?
You sound like the Wolf of Wall Street.
That's what I said. I said, I'm not going to talk to the family differently if I'm working with a different family. Matt Payne said this. He says, treat every client the same. I said, it doesn't matter. Because, see, I'm talking to you the same way I'm talking to everybody else in here. And that's what makes me different.